wow. So many great places to go with Holland America. Whitney, I'm so glad you're back. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Walter, for having me.
Yeah, and I'm going to start right off with Mimi says you're hanging out in the basement on a tornado warning. Oh my gosh, be safe, Mimi. Please. I'm glad we can distract
Oh,
you though.
me is. Oh my gosh.
Oh
I
my
thought she meant my
gosh. So
daughter. I reminded her of that. But
yeah,
yes.
so please keep us updated as long as you keep having power. Let us know that the tornado went by. But welcome everybody to Thursday Night Live. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. Every Thursday night we try to bring you one of our travel partners, and we're very thankful to have Holland America, Mr. Whitney, with us this evening. And of course, if we can ever assist you with your Holland America voyages, wherever you want to go in this amazing world, you just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. There's also links down in the description. I love doing these shows because I get to introduce you to some of the amazing people that I get to work with behind the scenes. So Whitney, I'm so excited. And man, we've got a bunch of folks here. I just want to quickly say hello. We got Sue, Alex, Annette, Betty's here. Oh, Bill's fan. Hello, Canada. How are you, Canada? Betty's here. Mimi's here. Aaron's here. Alex and Joe. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining in. And Alex wants to party in the crow's nest.
Oh, crow's nest is one of my favorite spots for sure.
Yes. And actually, before we even start, Betty asked, does every ship have a crow's nest? I think they do.
Yeah. I believe so. Even our smallest ships. Yep. Crow's nest up in the front, top deck. Mm-hmm.
Just a beautiful spot. You've got the view of the bridge with the beautiful glass windows, and grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a drink, and Alaska, Panama Canal, wherever you're going.
Exactly. It's a great viewpoint for wildlife, whales, the beautiful birds in the different areas. Like it's a great spot. Definitely grab your coffee. Lounge chairs up there too. So
yes,
it's a great spot to kick back and relax.
Yeah, and most of them have that beautiful coffee shop that's like right there, or they've got a coffee maker right there. So yay. So we're already talking about coffee, cocktails, and food. So this is a good start, Whitney. I like this.
Yeah, it's the way to go.
Oh my goodness. And of course, Holland America is one of our really amazing partners. And of course, we've got a lot of sailings up in Alaska. And of course, we talk about Holland America a lot when we talk about Alaska and Panama Canal. But there are so many other places that you go, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining in. So what I'm going to do at this point, folks, please ask your questions. This is your time. We're going to be here for about an hour. And any questions that you want to ask about Holland America, Whitney knows a little bit more than I do about Holland America. So this is a great time to ask questions about Holland America. But in the meantime, I'm going to let Whitney take it from here. She's got some information to share with us, and then we're going to dive in, and hopefully we're going to talk some more about food very soon. But let me go ahead and bring up your screen, and Miss Whitney, take it away.
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Walter. And thank you for all of those videos up at the front. I hope you guys enjoyed those beautiful marketing videos. And one destination you saw a lot was, of course, Alaska. And that is because we've been sailing there longer than anyone else, over 75 years in this region.
Yes.
So we love to say we're running this campaign first in Alaska, best in Denali. So I did just want to point out the top reasons why you would want to join us for an Alaska cruise. We have that glacier guarantee. So a guarantee that you'll see a glacier on your Alaska cruise. And if by some chance there wasn't a glacier opportunity, then you would get an FCC. So we have that glacier guarantee. We have more Alaska wildlife and wilderness than anyone else. So the top two reasons most people want to go to Alaska: glaciers and wildlife. So boom, top two right there that we're bringing you. And then we also have land and sea. So what I mean, even though you think Holland America, we are a cruise line, but in Alaska, we do own our own lodge up near Denali National Park. So we do have land tours as well. So there's a combination. So up in Denali, we have that complimentary park tour, which is that tundra wilderness tour, the tour you want to take when you go into the national park.
Yeah.
We have our amazing,
Do the basic history tour. You want to do the wilderness tour that will take you as far as you can go.
as far as you can go. Exactly.
Mhm.
I actually got to experience our land and sea cruise tours last year. And on our Tundra Wilderness tour, we saw a grizzly. We lucked
Yes.
out. Yeah. It's rare. I mean, you have to be at the right time,
It
and
does.
yeah, it was very exciting. Safe inside the
That's so cool.
bus. But yeah, so we did see a grizzly. So it was the highlight of our trip for
Wow.
sure.
Wow.
And then of course we just have that great Alaska. We talked about food already a little bit, so that fresh local seafood, whether it's halibut, salmon, we do fresh picked berry desserts that are from Alaska, and then
Wow.
reindeer sausage. So a lot of food native to where we're sailing. We always have that on
Wow.
board, and then kind of we've already touched upon it, but that two options when you're gonna visit Alaska, right? You got your cruise
Mhm.
only, and that cruise tour land and sea. Here's a shot of our property up in Denali, our
Yeah.
Denali Lodge. So you
And that
can't
is
go wrong
not
with that.
Photoshop, folks. I mean, the park is right there. That's how close it is. It's like literally right behind you.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I can't say enough amazing things about Alaska. And I mean, again, we've been doing it longer than anyone else. We're experts. We have those grandfathered rights into the best port docking locations, more
Mhm.
Glacier Bay passes than anyone else. So it's really, if you're going to go to Alaska, you got to go with us.
Yeah, you got to go to Alaska. Yeah, we encourage all of our guests, if you can, try to do a cruise tour, because you will see a lot of wildlife, especially when you're on the land portion of it. I think we saw more wildlife on the land portion, except for the whales, when
Yeah.
we stayed on land. Just beautiful, just beautiful.
And it's so fun to go from, I mean, I did land first on my cruise tour. So you're looking for moose and bald eagles and the grizzly and the caribou. And then you totally transition once you get on the ship, and it's like whales and otters and seals. And it's so fun to
Yeah,
get all of that in one 12, I was on a 12-day, one 12-day trip. We saw
yeah,
it. So you really do have to think, like, if you're going to go to Alaska, are you going to go once, twice? I mean,
right.
got to see it all while you can, right? So one stop
Exactly,
that cruise tour.
exactly. Yeah. Wow. Okay. What else?
And we
Oh,
did just announce too, actually, for our land, we're always making enhancements. And so we
okay.
did just announce a $70 million enhancement program over
Whoa.
25, 26, and 27. So just on the property, some little renovations here and there, upgrading the
Whoa.
restaurants we have. Speaking of coffee, upgrading our coffee in the
Nice.
lobby that we have a coffee
Nice.
stand there. So making some
Nice. Nice. Betty is actually asking about, and I think you know a little bit about this one, because I think this might have been something like what you did recently, but the 11 days Alaska, Denali, Whitehorse, and Dawson, which is very unique to
Yep.
Holland America. I don't think anybody else goes to the Yukon.
No one goes to the Yukon but Holland America. It is true. It's a great question. So I did, I think, the 12 day. So 12, 11 day. I did
Okay.
land first. So I started in Anchorage, went up to Denali, and then
Mhm.
we stop in Fairbanks for the night. You're going to take a
Mhm.
chartered flight from Fairbanks over to Dawson, stay in Dawson, which is the Yukon territory, Canadian
Okay.
territory. And then we were in Dawson for 2 nights.
Wow.
I can't say enough amazing things about
Wow.
Dawson. It's like stepping back in time, dirt roads, boardwalks,
Wow.
sidewalks. There's no street lights or like stoplights even. It's just very
Gotcha.
rustic. There's about 3,000 people that live there now, but in its heyday during
Wow.
the Klondike Gold Rush, there was 30,000
Oh
prospects
my gosh.
that descended onto Dawson City.
Wow.
One of
Wow.
is to gold pan in the river up there. So it's so fun. Love
Wow.
it. They have like a old style gambling hall with a can. It's so fun. I love Dawson. And then from
Oh
Dawson,
my God.
we went down to Whitehorse to Skagway, where we got on the ship. So you either go that route or the reverse. So
Nice, nice. And you know what? We've got a bunch of questions. Have you got more on Alaska, or are you about to transition to something else?
Yep, that was it for my Alaska slides.
All right, let's just jump back for a second, because we've actually got a couple of we've got a bunch of questions already. So Aaron wants to know, and I don't know if you can answer this one. What is your favorite ship? Wow. And then what do you think are some of the, I'm just going to say, why don't you tell everybody about the music venues? Because you guys have really leaned into that.
Yes, great question. What is my favorite ship? So it does change. I haven't been on all, we have 11 ships. I haven't been on all 11, but I have been on every class of ship that we have.
Okay.
So right now, my favorite is the Nordam.
Oh.
I love that one. That's in our Vista class.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 1,600 passengers roughly. It has this in the main dining room. It is the hand-blown glass, Murano glass on the dining. It's beautiful. The teak decks. I mean, all our ships have the teak decks, promenade deck, wrap around. I just love the way the library and cafe are set up as well. And the meeting rooms on that ship. We have 3 meeting rooms, and on the ceiling is like a deck of cards. It's just a very fun. I love the little touches everywhere. Every ship has a different theme of art, and that one's more Greek themed. And yeah, I just love that. Nordam, I would say. And then the best for music, I would say, is our Pinnacle class, which is the Koningsdam, New Statendam, and Rotterdam. And that's just because that is our largest ships. So they have all the music walk venues. So you have plenty of different options. So I would say for music, that one, just because they've got BB King's, Rolling Stone Lounge, the Billboard Onboard, and then our bar, Ocean Bar, 3rd Avenue West. So you'll have all the music possible on board those 3.
Wow. Yeah. And I love that you guys have really leaned into that live music. I mean, it's not just like, hey, we're going to have one little venue. We've got multiple venues. So different kinds of music going on, to fit your style, and dancing. You want to get up and dance, have a good time.
Tons of dancing. Walter, are you going to hit do you hit the dance floor, Walter?
I don't hit it as much as I should. When I was younger, I was quite the dancing fool. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. BB King's definitely, a Rolling Stone Rock Room too, but BB King's is where a lot of the dancing happens, I feel like.
And I love this question from Rick, because people are shocked when I tell them some of the itineraries that you guys have. Does Holland America do round trips from the U.S. to Europe?
We do. We have lots of round trip voyages. Yep. This is a segment we love to call our legendary voyages. So these are about 25 plus days. So round trips, you're going to look out of Boston is where those are going to be. Some New York as well.
Yep.
But mainly Boston. We've got a great one we call Voyage of the Vikings. I actually have a slide on that one a little later, but that goes Boston over to Rotterdam and back with a lot of stops in between.
Yes. Yes.
And then one we have for 2025, we have it for 26 as well. But this is so I guess I should say, Walter, tomorrow, guess what tomorrow is?
What's tomorrow?
It is Holland America's 152nd anniversary. Tomorrow?
Wow, we should have had cake.
Right? It's been a while for us. So this August, we have a voyage doing New York to the Mediterranean and back to New York. And that's our 100th year anniversary of that specific voyage. We're very excited. It's the ultimate Mediterranean voyage is what it's called. New York round trip. Yep. 45 days. That's a long one. It's a long one.
And I know you guys have also done some from Fort Lauderdale, because I've seen that one. It was like a 42-day, went to the Med and back. You have done some to Australia and back from San Diego, which is amazing. And I tell folks this, they're like, no. I said, go look at what'd you say, the Grand Voyages?
Legendary. These ones are legendary.
Legendary. I like that. But I mean, and these are itineraries that literally, like, nobody does itineraries like this. And I think it really shocking to people. It's like, wait a minute, They do like, because that voyage to the Vikings is just phenomenal from Boston up to Northern Europe. Then you come on back. And I love that you guys are doing this 100th anniversary voyage of that specific one. That is really, really
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. We've seen, like, we've always been kind of known for these longer voyages. So we're really excited to keep them going, keep doubling down. But like you said, so out of the East, Boston, over to Europe, some New York, Fort Lauderdale, even down to South America and back, San Diego, which is where I'm based. We have a 93-day Australia, New Zealand round trip.
Group
And
cruise.
even Seattle.
Group cruise. Here we go.
Right. And even Seattle over to Tokyo and back. That one was our Majestic Japan we had last year. So a lot of great options.
And folks, this is one of the reasons, and it is one of the things that we talk about to some of our clients. Like, are the clientele a little bit older on Holland America? And one of the reasons I think that the audience will, when you look at the demographic, is because these are long voyages. And, a lot of families aren't taking these 25-day and 35-day voyages. But when you go to the 7s and the 14s and you go to Alaska, Holland America looks just like any other cruise line that you go on. That the demographic is wide, it's varied. But when you see a 35-day cruise, a 45-day cruise, a 93-day cruise, well, guess what? That is going to skew towards the people who have the time to take those longer voyages. So Holland America is truly for everybody. It is a wide demographic that goes on those ships, right?
100%. I always say it matters when, where, and how long you're sailing. Summer, kids are out of school. You're going to Alaska, younger family, multi-gen. But sure, these 25 plus the 93-day I mentioned, that's 3 months. So that's going to be people who are retired or people who can take off. They maybe own their own business and they can take it on the road. So, you're not going to have many families. Probably no families on the 93-day.
No. And that's true of any cruise line. Any cruise line that has these long voyages, it is going to skew older just by the very nature that this is a long voyage. So just get that out of your mind that, this is just an older person cruise line. It's not. It's a wide demographic. The ships are just gorgeous. And what I like about your ships, too, is they don't forget that they're ships. There's like a push now. We're going to make a resort. We're going to make you forget you're on a ship. We're going to do this. But you guys are unapologetic about the fact that our ships are beautiful, but you're not going to forget that you're on a ship. And I like that.
Exactly. We like to say we're classic cruising, right? So we have those blue holes, the wraparound promenade teak decks, very much classic ocean liners that we
They are beautiful. And Alex wants to know, do you have any new ships or do you know of like any dry dock and or enhancements coming along?
So no new ships for Holland on order yet. You never know. And then we do minor dry docks here and there. We try not to take a ship out of service for too long or anything. But we'll do enhancements when we need to, for sure.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Now keep dropping your questions in there. We're going to drop. Oh, Aaron says his neighbor is in the mid-30s, says Holland is her favorite. So there you go.
There we go.
It's an absolutely lovely and relaxing cruise line. It's absolutely gorgeous. The service is top notch. If you've been on some cruise lines, you're like, wow, service wasn't that great. You gotta try Holland, because Holland has what I like. It's that like classic European service, but without that stuffiness to it. It's fun, it's relaxed, but it's really good. I'm going to turn it back over to you. Let me go ahead and remove that, do this, and I'm going to turn it back over to you. And keep showing us some. Okay. Group trip, everybody. Group trip. Here it is.
Let's go.
I want to go to the Northern Lights so bad. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I do too. It's on my list to see for sure. So next year in 2026, we have this group of sailings we're calling like our celestial sailings. Wow. So these are a few of them here, the Northern Lights. Now, of course, we can't ever, of course, guarantee that we will see them, but we're going to try our best. That's why we're going to be going in October, much later than we normally are in Northern Europe. Wow. But I know it's hard to see in those small maps. you can see there's
Yeah.
a few ports of call that are actually above the Arctic Circle. So
Nice.
you're going to be above the Arctic Circle, which is amazing and so rare. And that's where we're really going to hope to see these northern lights and have a few opportunities because these are 14-day voyages.
Wow.
And I wanted to call out too, this is on our Rotterdam and New Dam ships,
What?
which are our largest. So
What?
normally our smaller
Wow.
ships will do these kind of unique itineraries.
Yeah.
But these ports can handle the slightly larger. I mean, our largest is 2,600 passengers.
Right.
But still amazing to be on our largest. You have all of those amenities, all of those music walk venues, all of those spaces available to you on such like an epic journey. So this is
Wow.
one of our like celestial. The
I
next
love it.
is the solar eclipse.
Oh,
Now,
wow. Oh, wow.
these ones are going quickly. Again, this is 2026. I think we all kind of had that 25, or I'm sorry, in 2024, we had the solar eclipse that kind of went through the US. So I got a very
Right.
partial over here, but it was very exciting and a lot of people really loved having that. So in 26, the line of totality is a little bit more over in Northern Europe. So
Right.
these two sailings, one on the Rotterdam and one on the Oosterdam, will have a viewpoint of that. And I think the like benefit of seeing a solar eclipse on the ship is the captain can kind of move slightly if maybe there's cloud cover over here. Okay, we can just
Right.
shift slightly and find an open spot. So I think
Right.
that's going to be like such a cool
Wow.
experience. And then talking
Wonderful.
about those legendaries that take part from the US, in 26, our Voyage of the Vikings, which we always
There it
have,
is.
also part of the solar eclipse. So you have
Oh.
3 different options for a solar eclipse.
Wow.
And this is that legendary that you can see starts in Boston. It has great spots in North England and Canada, and then Greenland and Iceland, some Ireland, some Norway. I mean, it has so many different countries here spotted. So, and again, that solar eclipse too. So not only are you getting an amazing journey and amazing sailing, but you're also getting that solar eclipse.
Wow. This is the voyage I really want to take. Like, this is the itinerary. Ever since I first saw it about 2 years ago, I'm like, this is the one I want to do. And now you got the eclipse too. Wow. That's amazing.
I know. Amazing. So we're really excited for this. These sailings, like I said, they're called our celestial. So,
Like it.
celestial, the northern lights, the solar eclipse, we've got it all.
Wow. Wow. And you kind of touched on it, but Annette is asking, how big are the ships? You just said like your biggest ships are around 2,600 passengers.
2,600. So that was the Rotterdam, New Dam. So those are the ones doing the northern lights, and I think we have one of them doing the solar eclipse, the New Dam. And then so this one is the Dam, which is our Vista class. So it's about 1,800 passengers on there. So,
And what's the range? What is that the smallest? No, you have a smaller one.
Our
right?
smallest is 1,400. So we'll go 1,400 to 26.
So there you go. A nice spread. Like even the big ship doesn't have 3,000 people on it yet. I love that. That's just they're just the right size. They're big enough to have all the amenities that you want, but they're not so big that you've got these masses of bodies and crowds and lines everywhere. So, yeah.
Walter, you nailed it. We call them our perfectly sized ships.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's almost like we rehearsed this earlier.
I know.
But we didn't. We were frantically trying to get Whitney on the show right before we came on.
Those technical issues.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah. So no, they really are. They're perfectly sized because they've got all the modern conveniences. You've got the venues, you've got the wonderful service, wonderful food, but they're not so massive. And I think you really appreciate it when you come into some of these ports and you step off your ship and then you see some of these monsters alongside you and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize just how small this ship was. It feels so big when I'm on it, but I didn't realize it's actually kind of a smaller ship. So it's fabulous.
It really is, because we've got all the amenities you could possibly want or need on board. So
And Alex is saying that the Voyage of the Vikings looks amazing. I mean, Alex, that is just one killer itinerary right there. You get to go all the way to Europe and you don't have to get on a plane except to get to Boston.
Get to Boston. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to answer what your favorite drink is?
On
Or
board.
specialty dining venue? You want to take that?
So specialty dining, I am a Pinnacle Grill girl. So I would have to definitely say there. And I will say too, I'm a champagne sparkling wine. I'm kind of a pivot here though. We did just announce a partnership. I know, right? A partnership with Tattinger for our sail away party. So we'll have some champagne on board. But I'll say this one. So in Alaska, we last year started glacial ice. We started with a third-party company that has glacial, already calved glacier ice, making the ice cubes, and we use it on board. And so there's a drink called Blue Ice with a glacier ice cube. So that would probably be my drink of choice.
That's kind of cool.
I'm not sure the science behind it all, how they take it from already calved ice. I'm not sure how it all works, but it was really cool.
That I've seen some videos where like they go out on a small boat. It's already a piece of ice that's floating. They don't go obviously up.
No, they don't.
They just take a piece of ice that's already floating away. And I've seen some of that where they actually capture it, bring it back on a cooler, and then they shave it up. So that's cool. So you actually had one of those drinks. Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got a menu. I think it's about 5 drinks that have those on board.
Wow.
So for our Alaska season.
See, another reason to go to Alaska on Holland America. Get some glacier ice in your drink.
Yep.
I love that. And I love that Rick already says he's going to be calling me. So fabulous, Rick. Absolutely. Let's talk about sending you on that voyage of the Vikings. So, maybe I can stow away with you.
Right?
Awesome. All right. Go ahead, Whitney. You continue on. You've got everybody excited here.
All right. Well, I think the next is I just wanted to talk about our couple of new partnerships. So I kind of just mentioned we have Tattinger. That'll be our sparkling champagne on board our sail away. We just announced some new single malt whiskeys for 2025.
What? Wait. What? You were hiding that on me.
I know.
We
literally just announced it, I think, a week ago. So we'll be it's a new from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, if I'm remembering that right. So it's the oldest continuously operating distillery in the United States.
Yep.
So we'll have that new whiskey experience on board with a few more whiskeys and bourbons.
Wow.
So very exciting. Right. And another great partnership, which is what we've queued up here, is our History Channel partnership.
Yeah, tell me about this.
When we all travel, right? That's what we're kind of there to do, is learn about the history, the culture, the wildlife, everything about the new destination that we're in. So we're really excited for this. We have a few new shore excursion and itineraries that really we curated together in partnership with the History Channel. So now available in 25 is Ancient Empires in the Med, Viking Homelands, Northern Europe, Arctic Encounters, again, Northern Europe. Have that gold rush I kind of talked about in that Yukon area. And then some Hawaii, Asia, World War II.
That's cool.
History deep dives. And then more is coming soon, too. So this, we've just announced it about a couple weeks, maybe a month ago now. So more will be coming down the pipeline.
So you're actively working with folks from the History Channel to curate itineraries and shore excursions.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
So it's a great partnership.
Cool. And I think it's a brilliant partnership. I mean, wow. Because it is nice to have these cruise line shore excursions that are going to take you on history, and we hope that the cruise line has picked the best ones for us. But I think we all know the History Channel and the amount of work that they put into their research and whatnot. So this is a very, very cool partnership. I like that.
Exactly. Right. It just makes so much sense. And especially with the History Channel in general with travel. So we're really excited they chose us to be their partner.
That's
And
cool.
I'm excited to hopefully take advantage of one of these itineraries soon.
Yeah.
I'm always
Are there,
looking
do you
at
know if
new
there's
ideas.
any plan to bring any of like the History Channel, like talent on board at at any point? Maybe do some
Yeah,
stuff like we've seen some of the other guys do?
that's a great question. I'm not sure History Channel specific, but in
Okay.
destination, we're always bringing on locals from the area, whether they're geologists or wildlife whatever they are, to
I
talk
got
about
you.
the area we're in. So not
Okay.
sure how specific History Channel, but that's something to
Gotcha.
think about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. Oh, somebody is leaving on their fourth trip on Holland. All right, Vicky, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well,
What else you
actually,
got?
that was my
That
last
was your
slide.
last slide. All right. Well,
I
then
we
I'm
went
going to
so
get this
fast.
back up. Awesome. Awesome. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, you recently announced a partnership with Morimoto, one of my favorite chefs of all. I mean, I can still go back and watch the Iron Chef, like those original shows. They were so much fun. But I've eaten at Morimoto's here in Orlando. I've been to Morimoto in Las Vegas. Just if you've never been to Morimoto, yeah, you got to go. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because you have the restaurant, but now you're starting to expand into the rest of the fleet.
Yes. So we announced in, I believe it was late, I think 2023 or maybe early 24, we announced our global fresh fish program. So
Hmm.
we have 60 ports of call in our network that provide over 80 varieties of fresh fish. So we kind of already mentioned Alaska with the salmon and the halibut. Well, we have this great map that shows everywhere that we're sailing:
Right.
Caribbean, Australia, Asia, and the different fish varieties that are there that our crew is getting from fisheries in the area, port to plate in under 48 hours. And so
Holy cow.
Morimoto is actually our global fresh fish ambassador. So you say that 5 times fast, right? Um,
Love
so
it.
he is our ambassador to the program. And so fleet wide, we have a pop-up restaurant, Morimoto by Sea. And then on the new
Nice.
Amsterdam, we do have his restaurant. So he has a permanent one on that ship. And the rest
Wow.
of the fleet has a pop-up. So we're very excited. He
Wow.
actually was just on board. He sometimes pops on board. You never know. And he'll be on sailing. And they just broke a world record, I think, on creating a sushi of the longest. I'm forgetting what it was
Like
exactly,
a
but
long sushi roll or something like that.
a long sushi roll. But we also did just announce with Morimoto a sushi bar.
Oh,
So that will be expanding kind of the Morimoto by Sea that we've had. And now adding a specialty sushi bar available that'll be on 5 ships in the fleet.
oh, I like that. And Holland America has a long history. If you've never been on the ship with Asian food, your tamarind restaurant has been one of my favorites of all time at sea. So it's not like you guys are strangers to the Asian cuisine and all of that. I don't know who heads up Tamarind, but my goodness, that is just one of the best restaurants at sea.
Well, I hope this is good news to you then. We did just announce we're going to enhance the program and or enhance that menu and add a few new items. And I knew
Wow.
tamarind was your favorite. So a lot of staples are still there, but
Hmm.
just some, extra crispy duck, lobsters and shrimp, pot stickers,
Oh,
seared lobster. So yeah, lots of goodies added to that menu for
wow.
tamarind.
Since we talked about Morimoto and Tamarind, why don't you just kind of walk through everybody? What are some of your dining venues that are on board?
Yeah, so we have Tamarind on our signature and Pinnacle class ships. We have Canaletto, which is Italian, on all of our ships. Pinnacle
Hmm.
Grill on all of our ships, which is like a
Hmm.
steakhouse.
Right.
And then we have, I think, Rudy's Seldamar on our Pinnacle class ships as well.
Gotta have
French
Rudy's.
bistro. Yep, exactly. So those are
Okay.
our specialty dining. But then we have for regular included dining is the main dining, Lido buffet. We have dive-in burgers and hot dogs, New York style pizza, Grand Dutch coffees and pastries. So we've got lots of great options. And I will say, even in our buffet, so you've done the main dining, you've done a specialty dining, maybe you just want like a quick bite to eat one night. Our buffets are amazing. They change out, so we'll have different themed cuisine in the buffet. So
Yes.
I could eat in the buffet all week, but it is nice to have the other venues as well.
Yeah, I actually highly recommend everybody to go to the buffet at least one night for dinner because it's kind of like a master class up there. There's so much good food on that buffet in the evenings. It is like having, it is like fine dining, but you're at a buffet, which is hard to believe, but the food is that good on the buffet on your ships. It's amazing. And Annette's kind of leading us into what kind of entertainment. We've talked a little bit about the music, but why don't you kind of give us some of the overview of the entertainment on board?
Yes. So we do have that music walk venue, Deck 2, that you can go from hotspot to hotspot, BB King's, the blues, the jazz, the Rolling Stone Rock Room, Billboard Onboard, which you can do top charting hits. Excuse me.
Go ahead. Come on.
Then
Say it fast. Say it fast.
Right. Leads you into the theater, which is also on Deck 2. So there we will have we have a quartet, right? A cappella singers. We've got a dance show, and we have enhanced now, kind of doing some more song and dance. I won't say so like we have like a Las Vegas showgirl style lead singer style show. I think there's like a variety, like 60s, 70s variety show style show. So we do have a couple new shows for the main stage, the theater, that we have been releasing. So lots of options. And also our pinnacle, and also during the day, we have our great theater conversationalists talking about if it's a sea day, maybe you'll go to the theater and hear about like different wildlife and how to search for them. It's a great tips in Alaska. Always sea day 1. We have a great guy that joins and talks about like, okay, you actually want to be more on Deck 3, pretty in line with the water versus up higher because you can see the water line a lot better. So that's easier for spotting, which is something I didn't know. I kind of thought higher is better. And so you just learn a lot of great tips during the day on the theater from our conversationalists and our experts in the regions we're sailing.
Yeah, and actually, I see we have a Panama Canal question, but that's also a tip that I give people too, is to be down more like on the promenade deck when you're going through the Panama Canal rather than being way up on top with everybody, because when you come in, you're going to be below the wall and then you kind of get lifted up to the wall, and it's just kind of cool. Don't do it. You could literally step off the ship onto land and hop back on. Don't do it because you're going to get kicked off. But it is such a cool experience because we started out on top and went into the lock, and as soon as we got into the lock, we ran down to Deck 7, Deck 5, whatever it was, and I was like, this is so cool being right here. But it is the same with the wildlife, and especially the whales and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to see them with the reflection when you're looking down, but if you're down low and just looking straight across, you'll see the blow, and then you'll see the tail come up, and that is so freaking cool. So great advice. Great advice. So I don't know if you have any insight on this. Do you have any idea why some of the partial canal itineraries were changed this fall? I don't know if you have any insight on that.
I think I don't. So we've got ones that still go fully through, right? San Diego, Fort Lauderdale, San Diego. Yeah. And then, that's some that only go into like the lake, right? They go through to the lake and then reverse out. No, I think probably just port changes sometimes. Yeah.
It could have something to do, with the drought and the water level. They've been having issues there. And I know for a while there, they were restricting how many ships could go in and the pattern and all of that. So it may have something to do, because you guys go through, I think all of your ships can fit through the old locks, the original locks, I believe, the ones that do
I believe so. And I think they still all go through the original. Some might, I think the Cones Dam might go through the new locks. But yeah.
That's why.
They came through the
Yeah, smaller is better for the Panama Canal. For you folks going down there, you want to be on the smaller ship because going through the original locks, the new locks, is a one-way lock. So the ship is just going in or the ship is coming out, whereas the old locks is actually you got two ships passing by and the mules are right there next to you. And so freaking cool. So freaking cool. Sue and Phil want to know, do you have Starlink Wi-Fi?
We do on board, fleet wide, all of our ships. We did just announce that a couple months ago for that. So I've done calls, I've done streaming, works great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And amen, Walter. Yeah, with the small ship. I know you got to go through with the small ship. I do see people going through on the bigger ship, and I can tell right away that they're going through. There's nothing wrong with going through the new locks. I mean, it's still a marvel of engineering. There's just something super cool about going through locks that were built like almost 100 years ago. And they're still functional today with. And the other thing about your ships too is I believe you open the bow to let people go out onto the bow, right?
Yep, we do. We open the bow a lot, actually, as much as we can. So our ships were really purpose built to look out at a destination and really get that feel like you're right there. So in Alaska, the glaciers, and in Norway for the fjords, and yes, and then in the Panama Canal as well.
Yeah, so a lot of ships don't open that bow because it might be a crew area or it might be something like that, or you just really don't want to be up there. But your ship, they have that beautiful decking that goes straight on out. You can go out there and enjoy. You got a beautiful view looking forward. So yeah, that is another cool thing about Holland America that a lot of other people I don't know why they don't think about this stuff because it's such a cool place to be.
I'm right. I think we just always keep our bow so we know guests are going to be out there. I know some maybe have equipment out there, but we want to make sure you guys have the best view. So gotta keep that bow open.
And some of the things that you guys have too. Now, number one, a lot of your ships have that solarium type of pool where the roof can close with inclement weather. And the folks, they have beautiful pools on these ships. I mean, they're gorgeous, especially your newer ship. It looks like a freaking resort up there. So beautiful. But one of my favorite things that surprises a lot of people, you have cabanas on some of these ships that you can rent for the day, you can rent for the week. These things are lovely. Why don't you tell folks about those?
It's so nice, especially because if you're on a sea day, or maybe again, I keep saying Alaska. I'm gonna just keep saying it, but say you're in. I mean, I think everyone should be in a balcony in Alaska because you want to just be able to open your door, sit outside, watch the glaciers, watch a whale swim by. But if you weren't in a balcony by chance, you were in an ocean view or an inside. It's nice on a day like Glacier Bay Day to rent a cabana. So you are kind of in a balcony. You have your own area, lounge chairs, right? We have chocolate covered strawberries, water, champagne, and then a helpful server for if you need more munchies. And so it's a really cool experience, especially again, it's a tip for those who maybe are in a inside or ocean view to take advantage on Glacier Bay Day or any sea day. To really have that kind of exclusive spot with a great view right in front of you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's great. We rented it for a week when we were on the New Amsterdam, and the beautiful thing about it too is right by the crow's nest, which means the coffee shop is like 10 steps away from where you're sitting, and the folks that host you up there could not be nicer if they wanted to be. They're such lovely people. And another tip I'll give you for Alaska, if you do have your own balcony, order some hot chocolate, order some cookies, and then you put your TV on the bridge cam so you can hear the park ranger or the naturalist, whoever happens to be on the ship, narrating. So it's kind of cool. Just switch over to bridge cam, turn the volume up. You can sit out on your balcony and enjoy the glacier with some hot chocolate, some cookies. It is like the perfect day.
You've nailed it. You've got it down. You're an expert.
I'm telling you, man, I'm an expert in Alaska. We've been there. We're going back, and I've lost track of how many people we've sent up there. This is such a beautiful destination. It really is.
Well, and I mean, you live in Florida, right? And I'm in San Diego, so we're not looking out our windows anytime and seeing the glacier or seeing bald eagles. So it's just like a destination on. No one, it kind of doesn't come close to anything. So
no.
it is one that everyone should see at least once. I've been lucky to go a couple of times. I'm sure you have as well, Walter. So yeah, just couldn't recommend it
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. There was nothing like walking in Alaska during the land tour. We were taking a walk up a dry riverbed and the guy goes, stop. And all of a sudden, here comes Mama Moose walking out,
Oh,
maybe 50, 100 feet away from us, just staring at us. And he said, just stand still. And then the baby came out behind her, walked past her, and then she kept on going on. And I'm like, oh my, that was like one of the coolest things ever. And it was just us standing with a moose, but it was so freaking cool.
I love that.
Aaron wants to know, what is your, well, he said, what's your most popular show, but I'm going to guess what is your favorite show on Holland too?
So my favorite show is, now this is okay. So it's the quartet, choir 4. I'm mispronouncing the name actually. But they sing, I'm not a singer. I cannot sing. So what they do without any instruments, is amazing. So I love it. But I did dance growing up. So I do love our dance show too. Really, I could say all of the shows. And if I had to pick my favorite music walk venue, it would be BB King's. It's just so much fun. As I said, the dance floor is definitely hopping over there. So that's my favorite music walk venue for sure.
Nice. Yeah, we have not experienced BB King. We were there before the whole music transformation happened. So we're looking to get back on, hopefully this year, just so we can go check it all out. I mean, we're very fortunate to live in Florida where we can just go, you know what, let's go sneak away on a ship next week. And that is probably what's going to happen, because I'm just dying to get back on your ships. I do want to do the voyage of the glaciers. I'm going to have to wait. And Rebecca's just like, no, we can't book any more right now. So, but maybe we can sneak away and go get go get on one of them. Yeah. And I hope you all have been, paying attention tonight and seeing that Holland is not just, some one trick pony, or it's not just this. I mean, you guys have a lot to offer, from the ship to the rooms to heck, we haven't even talked about your spa yet, the food, everything. I mean, it is just, I think it really is a cruise line that appeals to a lot of people who don't realize that it appeals to them.
I 100% agree. And I feel like you nailed it. We didn't even really get into the depth, but in depth on like just the small touches that make it feel home. You mentioned our service. So we've won many awards for our amazing, very personalized service. Everyone is so friendly from the moment you walk on board. And what can I get you? How will I make this and the best vacation for you? And our rooms, one thing that I always call out because I love it so much. Say it's the middle of the night, you need to go to the bathroom, you put your feet down, there's a little night light that automatically sensors underneath the door. So it's not like a bright light that you have to turn on and it's overhead. It's just a little light on the floor that lights up so you can get to the bathroom or get to the wherever you need to go at night in the middle of the night. So something small touches like that are just like, oh, that was so handy and nice. We also have, I think, the best storage, our staterooms. We've got so many closets and nooks and crannies. For those voyages that are very 25 plus days, you've got plenty of storage for your items.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just so like whenever I'm on our ship, it's just like coming home. It's what our mariners say as well. So it's exciting. And then our spa. Is our greenhouse spa and salon. So you can go get your hair, your nails, a facial, a massage. We have a hydro pool, which is a big hit with everybody. Yeah, everyone loves a hydro pool. And so even if you don't want to get a treatment, you can just get a pass for the pool, for the loungers that are warming loungers. So it's fun to get a day pass or a week pass for that as well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we Aaron started us, or Alex started us off with the crow's nest. And what I love about spaces like that too is you can just sit and relax, and very often a crew member may just come over and strike up a conversation, which is fabulous. I love getting to know the crews. You do hire some of the best people, some of the most they seem to know what you want even before you do. Like the second time they meet you, and it's a very welcoming feeling coming onto your ships.
It is. I don't even know. It's like they remember your name too from like the second day. And I'm like, they meet so many hundreds of people. It's so impressive. And it just makes you feel like, oh, that's so touching. Like, thank you. Yes. So no, they do an amazing job. Our crew is fantastic. They make you feel right at home and to have the best vacation possible.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
a
And I
great
just
time on board.
Yes, it is. I want to give a shout out. I see Lawrence just popped in. Lawrence, hello. He's one of our most amazing agents over at KHM Travel Group. Hi, Lawrence. Good to see you tonight. And Annette is asking, what U.S. ports do you sail out of? It's actually quite a few.
Yes, so I love that question. So we have 5 North America home ports. So on the east, we've got Boston and Fort Lauderdale. And then on the west, we have San Diego, Seattle, and then Vancouver. So those
Nice.
are our 5 North America home ports, but we will do some, like we mentioned that New York sailing, and then a couple out of Miami. So those
Okay.
are kind of offhand ones, but like for our mainstays,
Okay.
it's those 5.
Do you think you guys will end up like in Galveston at any point, or maybe making New York a more permanent home port?
Yeah, I am not sure. We only have 11 ships. So we
Right.
are, those are the home ports in North America, but then, we're sailing in Asia and Europe. And so as of right now, I don't think anything's on the horizon, but you never
Okay.
know.
You never know. You never know. And
Never
it
know.
is interesting that you say you have 11 ships. I mean, you've been around 150 years. We see it almost seems like an arms race with some of the other cruise lines, like who can be the first to get to 50 ships or something like that. I don't know. But it
Right?
is interesting. I mean, that it almost seems like your strategy is we're happy being a small line. We want to concentrate on giving you really interesting service, amazing itineraries. We don't need 50 ships running around the world. We just want to be really good at what we do. And there seems to be a very deliberate, when we're
Mhm.
ready to launch a new ship, we will launch a new ship.
Exactly. Well, and the Rotterdam, so that is our newest ship, and that came out
Mhm.
in 2021,
Okay.
22. So, and that Rotterdam is actually our 7th Rotterdam. So because we have been around 152 years, we do like to replace the same names, because we were very into, of course, our Holland,
11.
Netherlands. Yeah.
I
So,
guess 150 years will do that, right? 11.
yes, exactly. So,
Wow.
lots of reusing those ship names, but hopefully we'll have one on the horizon. But Rotterdam did just come out a couple of years ago, so
Okay. Okay.
still new, and then New Stockholm a couple years before that. So all
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah. And then we've got a question about the Lincoln Center. Now, I know the Lincoln Center did go away, the agreement did end, but you
Mhm.
do still have classical music, right, on the ship?
We do. So, and we will even more so, like again, on those longer voyages, just because there's more days. So, we do have some more classical, more strings
Mhm.
available on those legendary, those longer sailings. But we do have the Third Avenue West Bar Trio. So, they're a little bit
Okay.
more classical, kind of light, alternative
Gotcha.
rock. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and for the question of why did they cancel that, that's above Whitney's pay grade. Um, Whitney does that, but there is still. Because I remember you and I did talk about this at one point, and you're like, "Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's still classical music on the ships. You may not see it as much as you did before,
Right.
but I do
And it
love
might
the
not be on every sailing, but those
right,
longer ones, yeah.
right. And I do love the pop-up strings. When like it's an
Mhm.
unannounced thing, and all of a sudden there's the strings just popping up. So I do remember that, and that was a lovely, lovely thing on your ships. Yeah.
Exactly. We always like to, surprise and delights, right? And I will say,
Mhm.
because we have heard so much about the Lincoln Center and really liking that string music, so we are bringing that back where we can. Again, those longer
Mhm.
itineraries that have the time to kind of hop in and off the ship. But
Right.
then we have brought back like our mint and ginger man that on your way out of main dining. There
Okay.
is the mint and ginger stand, so you can grab that. So I know
Right.
that was something we used to have years ago, and
Nice.
our guests wanted us to bring it back. So we listen, and we're happy to bring it back. And then
Nice.
we also have like our tea on our sea days.
God, we didn't even talk about tea. Yes, you guys have
Yeah,
great afternoon tea.
royal Dutch tea in the afternoons, and then we have like our orange party because Holland, the country, is from the the king of orange. So
Yes.
their color is orange. So we have orange party with Dutch, always Dutch
Mhm.
cocktails and appetizers, and so we're always like paying homage to our heritage there. So
Wow.
some fun stuff on board always.
Well, and since you brought up the color, why don't you just briefly tell everybody about Club Orange? You do have this program called Club Orange.
We do. So it's a really kind of advantageous for those that really love that convenience and exclusivity. So it is capacity controlled. And on our 3 Pinnacle class ships, we do have a separate dining room for Club
Mhm.
Orange. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can enjoy an elevated dining menu, some extra service, some extra like amenities in your stateroom, priority embarkation, disembarkation. So really that exclusive convenience
Hmm.
that you can add to your vacation.
It's fabulous. And if you want more information about that, I've got this whole flyer that will explain it. We're going to wrap it up with Alex wants to know where's some good rock and roll music on the ship.
Definitely the Rolling Stone Rock Room. That is on our Pinnacle and our signature class ships. It's a great band that we've got. And yeah, rockin' music for sure.
Nice, nice. Well, Whitney, it's been an hour already. Holy cow.
I can't believe that. And I do want to just give a shout out to Walter. Thank you so much for having me. You are an expert at your craft. And I did want to just offer Walter and his clients. So you guys, if you book with Walter before the end of the 23rd of April, there's an $100, 150 up to 150 onboard credit for
What?
you. Yeah. Wanted to give you that little at the end
What?
surprise.
Okay, folks, that's a total surprise. I didn't even know that. She did not warn me about that. What?
A little surprise
All
and
right.
delight for you, Walter, and everyone joining us today.
Thank you.
So, of course,
Thank
no.
you. So you
Well,
have 6 days till what'd you say, April 23rd?
yeah,
All right. All right. Well, don't go anywhere when we finish the show, so I can just get a little more information about that. But how about that, folks? Huh? A little up to $150 on board credit from Whitney. I think that deserves a little round of applause. Everybody, applaud to your television. Thank you so much, Whitney. That's amazing.
of
Oh,
course. No, thank you, Walter, and thank you everyone for the great questions. This was so much fun. It's always fun to talk about
yes.
Holland America and where you can travel to. And I always have such a kick out of looking at those voyages and wishing I was on them.
And folks, yeah, definitely. Everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much for all of your questions. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. And again, I'll remind you, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel, your independent travel agent. We book cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Holland America Line is one of our most amazing partners out there. So if we can help you in any way, book your Holland America voyage or one of those legendary voyages, hey, just reach out. It's where'swaltertravel.com. There are links down in the description. And if you book Holland America by April 23rd, 2025, Whitney has a little something extra for you. So let's do this. Let's book this, right, Whitney?
Definitely.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We might be around on Sunday morning. I know it's going to be Easter, but we might see you on Sunday morning. We will not be back next Thursday. Whitney, we are going to the Lion King here in Orlando next Thursday night.
Ooh, so fun.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. So, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.